And I think they're slow walking IEBC. That's part.
What do you mean you think?
That's part of
Ali, what do you mean you think?
I think, you know, like...
this is October.
Yes.
If even one IEBC chap is constituted by January, you ask me.
Remember, after the Gen Z, you know, like revolt,
correct?
When the cabinet was dissolved,
yes,
they said 90 days. I can't remember the exact date.
They presented the papers. Yeah. That's the time when they were all lined up with Rao, and guys were given a copy of the IEBC thing, blah blah blah.
Yes, and they said within 90 days.
Yes, and they even started. They even actually started. I think they had like a committee. They started. Then now it's crickets. So what is going on with the IEBC? Because by now, at least even the chair should have been appointed.
Wow.
If he has really ameamua kwa kichaa, ili akaamua, then they can try to impeach him on how they can impeach the president. It's actually easier to impeach a president than to impeach a VP.
Okay, that's interesting. Now, what is it, you know, like now how will the process work? What do we expect to see next week? Because we've seen impeachment of governors before. We've mostly seen impeachment of governors. Actually, there's another governor who's actively being impeached. I think he's staying in on a court order.
Kericho.
But I think he's been kept there by a court order.
He's been kept there by a court order, but he's impeached.
Yeah, but Seb, trial bado itafika nini, itafika Senate. So wanna go to the Gachagua impeachment drama. So now here is a basic question that I think a lot of people are asking. Why is Rigathi Gachagua facing impeachment? You know, like what is it exactly that he did that has been laid down on as charges on the impeachment on the impeachment motion? Now, I mean, those who've been following it, please type up kwa comments. Let us know what exactly is he being impeached for. Ama, what are people on the street saying, Uno Mike?
So the charge sheet, the equivalent of whatever it was being discussed by Eric Latif and the Spice Gang. And they were looking at some of the things, because you're trying to make sense. And you know, it as long as like in criminal law, like it has to stick. Like Ali, I saw you, not hearsay. I heard that Ali went. That is hearsay. That Ali went. He took that bottle of water. I saw him take it. So you become a witness. But just implied, because they look at a few things like what he has said, what he has amassed. So like now there's this thing of property that he has. So hoteli apparently ilikuwa ya brother yake.
Hoteli gani? Ni Treetops ama ni hoteli
buda amenunua hoteli ka 5 na miaka 2 hizo alia.
So the sum that he got from the brother,
from the brother,
the Ritu Gachagua.
Right, but there are some that he has acquired. So now those are the things that because remember before he became deputy, there were cases that to the tune of hundreds of millions of.
It was 800 million.
800 million.
Yes.
800 million. So, the case was dropped once he got into power, right?
Yes.
The case was dropped. So those are the things, those are the things that they look at, because they're looking at Chapter 6. Then they're looking at other vipengeles of the Constitution. They're trying to put stuff, right? That can be used, that is going to be used to supposedly impeach the guy. Can it stick? We just don't know. Because
they also throwing treason at him. They're also throwing treason at him. They haven't just said it, but they're trying they're really trying to tie the demonstration
Gen Z
to him.
Gen Z demonstration.
Yes.
Okay.
And then now you see how they've done it. they know they cannot prove that he's the one who did the Gen Z demonstration, but they want to say that he facilitated violence. Basically, they want to say that he's the one who was paying goons to cause violence during those demonstrations.
Because also remember that...
So basically him and Ford Foundation were the same WhatsApp group.
Yes.
Until.
No, Ford Foundation have been forgiven.
They've been forgiven.
No, until.
Yeah.
Until. That's why I said
no,
until.
Ruto was forced to apologize when he came here.
And this, and then there were like two or three members of his staff.
Entourage.
Like a personal assistant, somebody in charge of communications or something. 3 guys.
Yeah.
Were menaswa.
Okay.
Part of that treason stuff that Mika is talking about. Yeah. So those are the guys who are probably facilitating.
So that's the link. That's the link between the treasonous act and him. Because if you look at the impeachment of a vice president in Kenya, it's not easy.
No, it isn't.
It has a very high bar.
It is not at all.
It's not.
It's not a high bar at all.
Like
because
how to.
Go ahead, Mika.
Sorry. No.
Go ahead, Maliza.
So it's not easy at all because, first of all, if you look at the Kenya Law Reform Commission, how they say is that the deputy president can be removed in office, like it's the part of the constitution is too short, on the ground of physical or mental incapacitation to perform the functions of the office. On the ground of gross violation of provision of this constitution or any other law. So that is like if he's really gone against the constitution, right? Where there are serious reasons to believe the deputy president has committed a crime under national or international law. So akiwa mtu or for gross misconduct, the provision of Articles 144 and 145 relating to the removal of the president shall apply. So that means that if he has really ameamua kwa kitaa ili akaamua, then they can try to impeach him on how they can impeach the president. It's actually easier to impeach a president than to impeach a VP.
Okay, that's interesting. Now, what is it? Now, how will the process work? What do we expect to see next week? Because we've seen impeachment of governors before. We've mostly seen impeachment of governors. Actually, there's another governor who's actively being impeached. I think he's staying in on a court order.
Kericho.
But I think he's been kept there by a court order.
He's been kept there by a court order, but he's impeached.
But trial bado itafika Senate. So
Senate is a little busy right now.
So Senate has too much going on. So Mika, what do we expect to see next week? I know that's a difficult question.
Let's go back to this week. Earlier this week, when the impeachment proceedings were brought into court, right? Remember,
into Parliament.
Parliament. Yeah. Sorry. Remember, the Speaker said he's in support and stated his reasons. The Speaker is supposed to be neutral.
He's supposed to be neutral, yes.
He's supposed to be neutral, and that's why there was a member who said he wants the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, and the third Deputy Speaker to be out of Parliament. There are these other Vice Speakers who are capable enough of handling that hearing, because the other ones who are political appointees will be biased. And we saw that the Speaker, Wetangula, already alikuwa shasema yeye he supports this. Now, because he supports this, what we should expect is a lot of cooked public participation numbers with signatures, and a very hostile but one-sided Parliament and Senate on pointing out why he should be impeached.
Yes.
Today, earlier in the morning, we saw there was a statement that was released by UDA, and UDA said that they will go back to negotiations. Then a few hours later, it was taken down on all platforms, and we saw some ODM senators talking about, do we need public participation if public participation is going to be about other issues instead of this issue right at point? But the thing is not just because people are saying Ruto must go, They are not refusing to participate in Gachagwa's impeachment. They are telling you that we will not impeach this guy if he doesn't come with his package because we elected the package. So trying to sanitize and clean the airwaves so that you can be able to discredit the public participation is not going to work to the Kenyan people. And if Gachagua is impeached, this is the end of this. I will say the truth. It's going to be the end of a lot of ODM politicians. It's going to be the end of a lot of UDA politicians.
So this is going to be existential next week.
Yes.
Yes.
For them, they've already planned life without Gachagua. Our dream life with Gachagua. They've planned life without Gachagua. We've seen people put their political careers at risk. Remember that MP whose supermarket was banned? Leo aliambiwa Buddha, tulikuchomea mara ya kwanza hukusikia. Unataka tuchomea mara ya pili. And he had to beg. Akaomba msamaha. Right? People went because public participation requires the MP to be there. The public participation equal valid. That is why in all Nairobi MPs were in Bomas today. Na walikuwa wanasomewa kwa watoto. Wote apart from Babu.
Now
you see, Ali, the thing is, the MPs have been given that reality of how things are on the ground. They'll have to think about themselves first. So, impeach Gachagua because you've been told na itakuachia uibe. But impeach Gachagua knowing that the Gen Z protest plus Gachagua, you've gone against the people. 2027 Simbali. Now, mmeambiwa hapa leo 27 Simbali. Go ahead and do it.
Wow, now I'm starting to have, after the Gen Z June protests, June July protests were crushed. I felt like, okay, Ruto had bought his way out and he was gonna survive through 2027. But now, with this new wave, I don't know. The question is, will he survive to see 2025?
I don't, with how things are happening now, and you mentioned it here. Every day is a new day for which you knoweth not what you're going to get.
Yes, when you wake up, you don't know what you're going to get on your phone when you go look.
So, hata ukianza na tuseme Spice FM asubuhi at 6 when they start their show at 6.
Yeah.
By 10,
it's obsolete.
Kunaweza kuwa imelipuka.
Yeah.
So that guest that they had over there who came with CG, I don't know, analysis
here. It becomes irrelevant.
It becomes irrelevant,
yeah. So ulisikia Kabogo akikuja kiingia akisema tio huyo jamaa, you should just go ahead and just akule hapo tu nini na resign. At least he can live to fight another day. Sijui nini.
Yeah.
But
resign.
You see now.
Criminal charges inakungoja.
What Uno brought here was that ujama akisema tu I resign. Sasa ile that clock
so
that
the
was covering
is ready.
The clock that was covering him.
Yeah.
Juu yuko ndani ya hiyo ofisi.
Yes.
Shui, shroud is lifted.
It's off.
Welcome. Come.
Come, baby, come.
We'll treat you like Waititu. We'll put you in that cage. You look like a chap who's being waited upon for execution. Wow. So, Yani, I don't see this guy surviving with the irritation that the voters who are ready to vote now have. Now, his survival as well is now him playing games. And remember, we don't have IEBC. So if you take him out, then what?
And I think they're slow walking IEBC.
What do you mean you think?
That's part of
Ali, what do you mean you think?
I think,
this is October. Yes. If even one IEBC chap is constituted by January, you ask me.
Remember, after the Gen Z, revolt.
Correct.
When the cabinet was dissolved,
yes,
they said 90 days. I can't remember the exact date.
They presented the papers. Yeah. That's the time when they were all lined up with Rao and guys were given a copy of the IEBC thing, blah, blah, blah.
Yes, and they said within 90 days.
Yes, and they even started. They even actually started, I think they had a committee. They started, then now it's crickets. So what is going on with the IEBC? Because by now, at least even the chair should have been appointed.
Wow.
At least.
Yeah, I know. They said 90 days.
You cannot still have an election. Ali, those chaps in Northeastern have been waiting for
no,
how long?
They're slowing down this thing, knowing pretty well that there's a lot of state capitals happening.
There's a lot of dissent.
So they'd rather leave it in anarchy.
Correct.
Because once IEBC...
Because let it be in anarchy, because as long as I'm sitting over here, I can control the anarchy. And which means I'm still sitting.
So hiyo ni kama kusema ref hajakuja game. Zero. And then mko pahali huko, mmemkidnap ref. Ndio asikam kwa game.
So hivyo, ni ile unajiambia, I'm leading 2-1, na wale jamaa, I'm leading 2-1, na wale jamaa na red card, mbona niwapatie ball? Wacha tukagonge tu hapa nyuma. Hakuna haja kwa attack au tupige counter.
Okay.
Tukagonge tu hapa nyuma. Like they know that there is no need to give the citizenship power.
Because they know what will happen.
Yeah.
They know what will happen, yes.
Okay. And then if you try to move, the goalpost gets moved. Because you see every time when you come up with something, we've protested, shwa, goalpost moved. We've done, shwa, Gashagwa. We did it. So if it's not this one, there's going to be another one. Yeah. But it will be basically it's going to be
Gashagwa impeachment. The Gashagwa impeachment is I don't know who advises these guys, but that
was that's like an own goal.
But that's an own goal, the biggest own goal they've ever scored against themselves.
But Mika, you said it here earlier. You said the reason why they would do this. You actually said it here, where you are saying that
I said the reason why, but the thing is, as Alia said, jamaa anarusha joka alafu anarusha three zote zikifuatana. Asave mamizail. Unajua unacheka ka 3 ama ka 2 ile ukiwika kadi wajaribu kukuraundia, uko na defense.
Uko na defense kweli.
Jamaa anarusha kila kitu at one go pa.
Okay.